I would like to call to order the meeting of the Parks and Recreation Board for the City of Connersville, Indiana. Do I have to hit my gavel? All right. Vane, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, Kate, would you like to do the roll call, please?
I will. Vane Lashua,
Here.
Carrie Pfeiffer,
Here.
Julie Fisher,
Here.
Angie McMullen,
Here.
Ann Kirshner,
Here.
Amy Hammonds.
Excuse.
All right, excuse, she is out. You all had a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting, which I was not here for, but it looks like what I saw on TV. Do I have a motion? Any corrections? Any additions, corrections?
I move we accept the minutes of the last
Alright.
meeting.
Is there a second?
I second that.
All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. The minutes are approved. The superintendent's report, Marla.
Yes, so in January, we did have 2 employees with overtime. We had one Sunday that that it snowed and we needed snow removal because almost every one of our buildings was rented out that day and we had extra activities going on. And so they were called in to do snow removal that day. We are currently hiring counselors for summer discovery and lifeguards, concession stand workers, and front desk clerks for the pool. And so those applications are being accepted at the Miller Building. You can also drop them off at City Hall, but the Miller Building is primarily where you can pick up the application and also drop it off. We are also in search of a vehicle. We need a second vehicle. And so that's something that I'm looking into. I've not found anything yet, and I've called a couple different dealerships in town, and they're kind of on the lookout for us as well. And so we do have a little bit of funds in that area that we can get a second vehicle. Current projects that I've been working on for February is Christmas in the Park. There's a committee being formed, and in March I will start that meeting so that we can start planning for Christmas in the park. And then I'm also establishing a committee for our Living Well, Aging Well program, and I have been contacting different individuals to be on that committee, and I will start having those meetings in March as well for that. For the Living Well, Aging Well, and then we will start that program as soon as we can get that up and running. And the Living Well, Aging Well, just so you know, is the I have 55 and older, but I believe that I'm going to do 50 and older, and so there's some great funding out there that that we can get if it is 50 and better, and so I am going to drop that down. And, so, some things that went on in the Miller Building. We've been doing a lot of touch-up work and painting. They've actually completed that at the Miller Building and gym, and it looks great. The guys have been working hard on that. And then Longwood Bridge continues, the daily work continues. We have had a couple meetings with them, and their goal is to finish that hopefully by April, the end of April, depending on the weather. You know, we never know what we're going to get in Indiana. So as long as the weather holds out and they can continue the work, they really hope to get that completed before the end of April. We have soccer sign-ups going on right now through March 9th. And then March 1st starts baseball, t-ball, and softball sign-ups, as well as church league registrations. Those will begin March 1st. I did add in here that we're looking to purchase bleachers for our gym. I do have a couple quotes in the back here. One of the companies is significantly cheaper, and so I plan on going with that company to purchase 2 bleachers. And then the third row bleacher, we have 2 of those. We're going to move out to either the soccer field or the baseball fields. So we will be doing that. Let's see. Our concession stands, I plan on adding Domino's Pizza and Jack Donuts, and then Kona Ice is going to come. He came and gave us a presentation, and we got to try the Kona Ice. And the great thing about what he does is he gives 20% back to the organization wherever he is set up at. It's Jeff Gabbard. And so we're going to have him come to some of the sporting events. I don't know that he'll be at everything, but he's going to try and come to what he can. 2nd Street Park, we have inventoried all the equipment, and there were just a couple pieces that I did have to purchase that were not purchased last year. And so we will be getting that done this month. And then, let's see. Oh, I have those here. The warning plates and then the fabric roll are the ones that were not purchased. Everything else is ready to go. So hopefully that project will be started in May. Just a reminder that I will be traveling March 14th and 15th to the Aquatic Facility Operator Certificate class, so that we can have another person certified. Pete is currently certified and Catherine was, and so I'm going to get that certification as well. And then I just wanted to put down here the community participation, where I've been spending a lot of my time through the month of February. So we've had several news articles in the newspaper. I was on the spot with City TV and also News Journal with City TV. And then I participated in Coffee with the Mayor, and today I went to the Rotary Club. And so we are making sure that the community is well aware of our events and things that we have going on. An upcoming event is April 6th, Bunnies and Brownies in the Park, and we are partnering with Child Abuse Prevention Month. And I think that's going to be a great event. We have the Easter Bunny coming, and we will be taking pictures. Channel 3 will be there. They're going to have it live stream on TV like they did with our Christmas event, and then we're going to have booths, and then we will have a passport that each child will get when they come in, and they're going to be on an Easter egg hunt as they walk through the booths, and they will get stamps if they find the Easter egg hidden in the booth. They will get a stamp in their passport book, and then when they've completed their passport, they can come and get a prize out of our booth. We're also going to do an Easter egg or a brownie walk. Instead of like a cake walk, it's going to be a brownie walk. So we'll have Easter eggs on the floor. They'll do the brownie walk, and then they'll receive a brownie as their prize for winning. So it's going to be a really good event, and we anticipate a lot of people coming out for that event.
Sounds like a lot of community partners.
Yes.
That's
Yes. Yep, it's going to be a good event.
I attended the Rotary, your Rotary presentation, of course.
Yes.
So it was very, very nice, thorough. I think everybody appreciated it. There weren't many there, but
Yeah.
your presentation was great.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, you covered the sports. Any other sports to be updated?
Not at this time.
Okay. Old business. Does anybody have any old business? Nope. New business. It looks like you gave us some quotes for the new lawnmower. So tell us about what you are wanting to.
So the past 3 years, they've been trying to get a new lawnmower. They have 7 lawnmowers or 6 lawnmowers, and one of them is the engine has been replaced, and it's pretty much to the point where they can no longer replace anything if it breaks down. And so we do have some money in the budget that we can we can get a lawnmower. And so what I'm suggesting is we can purchase a lawnmower this year, and then money for next year, we will service our lawnmowers. And then we can work on rotating back and forth if we need to purchase another lawnmower and keep our lawnmowers up to date if it comes to that and we need to do that. But right now we do have one that is almost on its last leg. And so my recommendation is that we do get a new lawnmower, and then next year we will make sure that all of them are serviced, because it's fairly expensive to service the lawnmowers. And so we can't do everything all in the same year. And this year seems to be the year that we're going to need to get that new lawnmower. So I have several quotes here. My recommendation would be the Kubota. I think it's the second one that's listed, just because they are willing to give us $2,000 for our current Kubota that we have in trade. And so that's the biggest amount that we've been able to get as far as a trade-in value. John Deere was willing to give us $1,500. And so the recommendation that I would go with is the Zimmer Kubota, if that's what you know, feel
What's the
is best as well.
Price differential, they're giving us $2,000, and the price of that one is $20,399, and with the other one, it's gonna be just within a few dollars, really.
There's actually a third one. If you go to the third, I think I said the second, but there's actually a third one. That's $18,395.
Okay.
And then, so the total would be $16,395 with that $2,000 trade-in.
Okay. Has the Parks Department ever had something, and I know the school corporation has it, we have a bus plan that for 5 years, and we keep track of the buses, we keep track of how much they're being used, the maintenance that has to be done, and then we replace them staggered. And so we've got to always know that if one of them, we can't expect a school bus to last more than so many years. I'm assuming that some of this lawn mowing equipment we're very thankful that it's still running.
Right. Yes.
To set up an actual program where we have our inventory, we know what's the new ones, we know what's going to need to go next, and just create a budget situation. And I don't know, can the city carry over money from one year to the next, or do they have to spend it? That's one of the issues we have with school board. Sometimes the monies we have, they have to be spent within that calendar year.
We've actually, Marla and I talked about that, and she's been talking with Pete a lot about the age of the mowers, their quality, what he would like,
Okay.
what we can afford. He would like a whole lot.
Well,
We need a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We can't afford a whole lot.
But if we
and so this is a step in the right direction. And that's what they've been mapping out that plan. That's why she said this year we would buy a new mower. Next year we'll service them all. The next year, hopefully, purchase another one. You know, and get on that plan, because you're right. There has not been a plan like that. But
moving forward.
from what Marla had suggested earlier, that's what she's working on.
Okay, and it takes a little while to do, obviously, but that way we don't get clobbered. Unless something untoward happens where one just blows up, and that does happen sometimes, but we've got some contingency funds built in, and it gives us more flexibility too as to what kind of mower we need or what kind we don't need, because
Right.
our needs may change in that respect.
And our city does work on our mowers when they can, and if they have the parts and everything. And one thing that Pete is suggesting is going to make having all Kubota mowers, so that we can get the parts for them, and they're all the same. And then when we take it to the city to work on, they, they can get the parts and they're all the same mower and everything. And
You
so,
will notice all the school buses came from the same place.
yeah.
More or less, yeah.
Yes, so that was, that's his suggestion, and, he does keep track of, maintaining and when we need new ones and that kind of thing, and so it's just been a few years since they've gotten a new mower, and this one's, it's had a rebuilt engine, and so they have been trying to make it last as long as they can.
But you become penny wise and pound foolish after a while.
Now, do you need a recommendation for us to which one you need to take to the Board of Works because this is over $5,000? Did they approve that, or did they look at these three?
I just need to know which one you're approving to
What's the
purchase.
What's the difference in the two mowers other than $2,000?
Yeah, they're very similar. All of them are very similar. So one of them is a 2022, I believe. One of them is a 2023. But they all have the same deck, the 72-inch deck on them, 0 turn. So it just is. They're all very similar, and
That it would indicate, just from looking at this one that's $20,000 is called the Skag Turf Tiger, and that would imply that it has a better cutting, some sort of better cutting capacity than the standard. Okay. And because they're both 0 turn, which we have to have, so.
yes.
I'd just be curious to see, particularly since lawnmower blades and things like that would be something we would go through a lot in the course of a year, whether or not this more expensive would imply a heavier duty cutting system.
Well, keep in mind also, out of this money, part of the entire fund that we have is for mowers, but also for a vehicle. So the more we spend on a mower, the less we have to spend on the vehicle.
Okay.
And so, I'm trying to balance that out as well, so that we can get a decent vehicle. Currently, what I'm finding is vehicles that are over $20,000 with around 100,000 miles on them or more. And I really would not like to have that many miles on a vehicle, because I want to make sure it's going to last a while.
But we're looking for a used truck, right? Basically speaking.
An SUV, something that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, those are very expensive right now.
Yeah.
Even used.
Yeah, a small one. But as far as the lawnmowers, just keep in mind that that fund is in bulk for a vehicle and a
Okay.
lawnmower, so
Okay.
we do have to split it.
Okay, I was just curious, if spending $2,000 more on the lawnmower would get us more use out of it and be more effective. When you cut a yard, if you have to go over it more than once because it's not cutting as well as you have because of rough terrain, then basically you're doing double the work, and that's not efficient or effective.
Well, do we have any technical recommendations by
Pete?
Pete? Or-
Yeah. Did he-
His recommendation was the Kubota.
He didn't
And that's
care
why
what
I
we-
have
he
two
didn't care which
Kubotas
one.
here.
The
Um,
2022 or the 2023?
It really was not, he did not have a preference, because he said they're both great mowers. He just recommended that we have all Kubota mowers,
Well, that
and
makes
this would
sense.
help get us there.
Yeah.
I think this would be the last one that we would need to replace. We may, yeah.
Do we
may
have all
one
Kubota
more.
mowers now?
Well, that's why I'm trying to, I think we do.
Okay.
We may have one more that we need to, the one we're turning in is a Kubota.
Okay,
And so he's wanting to make sure that we just keep all Kubotas.
okay, which makes sense.
Just for parts purposes.
Okay. Just curious, because
Hopefully they would start giving you a deal too if you buy, every so many years you're buying the Kubota and you stick with them, some kind of
Yeah,
a customer.
yeah.
Okay, well, do I have a motion to suggest which Kubota, which mower we want to go with?
Pete has no preference.
And if Pete has no preference, I would say we go with the one that Marley, you requested, which was the 2022 model, which was the final price of $16,395. Okay.
Save a couple thousand.
I will entertain a motion to approve this, to pass it on to the Board of Works for their approval. Anyone?
Is that a motion?
Second.
And there's a second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, motion passes. Okay, now, Mario wants to talk to us about these software quotes and explain what we have here. What you're going for, what you want, what...
Okay, so I have been looking into a couple software programs for the park, and I know that Mayor Frank is working on something himself, but until his is ready to go, I would like to go ahead and implement something, because we are moving into... we still do everything paper, and all of our scheduling, booking for all of our rental facilities are in individual calendar books. And there just leaves a lot of room for error, miscommunication, things like that. And so what I would like to do is I have contacted quite a few companies, and there is a company that I feel would be best for the Parks Department. And what this program offers is online registration for all of our sporting events. Everybody can go online, they can sign up their kids for the sports, they can pay for them online, or they can come into the office if they don't want to do that. That's not an issue at all, but it is something that we can offer to them. They can download our app. If we go with the program, they can download the app, they can register online, they can register for any event that we have. For Summer Discovery, it's the same thing. They can register their children online. They would get a bill at the end of the week. They would pay their bill online. And then we would have a calendar, and all of our facilities would be on the calendar, and it would be in live time. So I can see it on my computer, she can see it on her computer, and anybody could view it at the Parks Department. That if they want to see who's renting the park on Wednesday, I can look it up, or she can look it up. And then it stays in real time, and it keeps all the notes, keeps the phone number, who's renting it, what do they need. And then we can also set it up where they can download the app, or they can go onto the website, and they can schedule that facility themselves, and they can pay for it themselves. And this also will help us. So it offers employee time clock as well. And so what I'm showing on this spreadsheet that I have is currently what we use. We use Hi Mama, which is an app that we pay quarterly, and that's for our Summer Discovery registration. They pay their fees online, and it offers communication between the director and the parents. And then we have Sling, which is another program that we pay for, and this is our employee time clock. And last year we started using Sling in April of 2022. And so from April to December, we paid $2,452 for this program. This year using it the entire year, it would be more than that. And we pay per user. And so in the wintertime, of course, it's less, but in the summertime, then it goes up because we have more employees in the summertime. So just keep in mind that last year we paid $2,400 within a 9-month span, I think it was. The program that I am recommending is the Easy Facility. And the Easy Facility is $329 a month. And that will give us everything that we need for that program. And it offers 3,000 member limit. So that would include anybody who registers to play a sport, anybody who rents a facility is a part of that. We have unlimited employee use for time clock purposes. And so that would help us eliminate the sling. And then that would also give us, there is a one-time activation fee for setup. We will tell them everything that we want in that program, and they will set it up for us. And then they will also train all of our employees on how to use the program. So in the back, I did give some examples of the different programs and what they offer. And so the Easy Facility, I'm recommending going with the premium package. I think that would be best for what we want to offer. And then the other great thing about this program is we can run the reports at the end of the month as far as who gave what money. So if we have registrations for soccer, for instance, we can pull that report. We can see who paid for soccer, how much. Same thing with our rental fees. What building did we, what building brought in what amount of money? We can run those reports, and then Kate can turn those in as we do now. But everything that we do now is currently paper, in paper form. And so that also could bring error, and this keeps it more organized. It automatically tallies everything for us in the program. And so she would just go in, she would say she wants to run the soccer report, and it would pull everything out of that soccer report that we need. Or she wants to know how much money we brought in for the Miller building for the month of February. She would just go run that report, and it would tell us. Who's doing our horse stall rentals? Who has that? She would just click a button, run that report, and it tells us. Currently now, she has to go through our receipt book individually, look at every single receipt, write it down on each individual line item, and tally it that way. And so this is also going to save time and energy in collecting, and then we make sure our data is accurate as well. So this is something that's been needed for a while. I know the previous superintendent had looked into it before, and so it is definitely something that is needed, and I think that it would also help out. Our hours are 8 to 4. And so this is going to allow for parents who can't get there between our open hours, they can just go on our app and they can sign up for, a summer discovery and pay for it right then, the registration fee. And she would the next morning get an email that says so-and-so registered, and she would go print that report. And so I just think that, it's time for us to move into the 21st century, if I can say that. And there is, with Easy Facility, along with all of the other programs that are out there, if we choose to accept credit cards, which I think would be a great thing for us to do, because we have on a daily basis people coming in saying, will you take credit card? And we have to tell them no. And then they have to leave and go to the gas station and get cash, or go to the bank and get cash and come back. So I did put on this for the Easy facility, I put their credit card fees. And then I also did for Congren, and their credit card fees are there as well. Now with Easy Facility, we could choose not to accept credit cards if we don't want that as an option. We don't have to have it as an option. My recommendation is that we do, but I'm also okay if they come in and pay, like they do now.
Is there going to be an issue with the credit card with the fees that are, who's going to absorb the fees that are charged? Because we've had this problem trying to get credit card things into the school corporation, and it's because of how, as a public entity, we have to do things. So that would be my only question as far as the credit card thing would be great, but you've got
2%.
sometimes some regulations to work around that make it a little bit more difficult, particularly when it comes to the fees. Because there was a big stink with one of the credit card fees with a thing we put in with the school, and we didn't foresee the problem, and we got it fixed, but it was like, it was not, the customer did not understand that they were going to be charged a fee, because the fee was charged back to the customer. So if you put $20 in your kid's account on a credit card, you were going to pay a 3.5% fee, which is only a few cents, but over the long term, and it's just like on some of the bills that you pay over the phone or the like, there's an automatic charge, but they tell you up front.
Right. There is a disclaimer when they go to pay, and it will say your credit card will be charged this % if you choose to pay through the app. And so that is something that there is that disclaimer that's listed on there, that they will be charged for it.
Part of that, the advantage to the credit card is the transaction process itself. I mean, if you got a check, you got cash, all that
Yep.
costs time and also some finance charge. So, and the credit card just, it charges 2 or 3%, but it makes life easier.
I would think it would be approved or
And more
denied as
attractive,
well.
and some of the things
Right.
more attractive.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
Won't get back.
And we don't have to wait on or track people down to pay.
Right.
You know, they won't be able to register, or they won't be able to book that facility until they pay, if we set it up that way. And so they wouldn't be able to complete their transaction until it is paid for. And so, right now, sometimes we're having to track people down and call them and say, hey, you haven't paid your fee, or we still need your deposit, or whatever. And this would help eliminate that as well.
There'd still be people who didn't have
There
paid
will,
yet.
yes, there
But
will
they
be.
They can say, oh, my number is. No, I mean, charge it on the credit card over the phone or something. That
Yeah.
works. Also, I was gonna ask about, does this integrate the financial aspects like salaries and expenses, other expenses? Is that gonna be all in one facility, or is it this is just for recreation and park facilities?
Well, we will still have our reports that come from our treasurer. So we'll still have all of that, but it will keep track of all of the money transactions that we take in at the park. And then we will turn in those reports to the treasurer and the clerk's office, and then she will put it into her form, just like they do currently, for our budget that we have.
And one of the things that was mentioned for one of these is that it's available on the cloud. Like you don't have to depend on one computer sitting in the headquarters.
Right.
It can be accessed.
It can be, yes. It can be accessed like I can.
I don't know whether they all are that way, but.
They are. They're all through the cloud. Yes.
Sounds like, and it's a set fee per month. We know exactly how much we're gonna pay.
Yes. And we can cancel our membership at any time if we pay monthly.
Okay.
There is a reduced fee if we pay it per year, and I honestly don't remember what that is, and I don't know that we want to go that route because we want to be flexible so that when the mayor has his program ready, we can cancel anytime.
And be,
And-
and be integrated into that if we choose to do, if he wants us on that.
Yes. And then also the website, so there would be a link connected to our current website that we have, so people can go onto our current website, click the link, and then it will send them to another website that is for this program, but it's going to look like it's ours. So it's going to have our integrated with our interface on it. The app is going to have our logo. It's going to look like it's ours.
What are any of the downsides to this? Like, what were the ones? I mean, did you find any downsides to this?
Not to Easy Facility.
Okay.
The other program that I have on here is Cogran, and then the other one is Active Network. And they do not accept employee time clocks.
Yep.
And so we would be paying the monthly fee for the program, and then we're also going to be paying for Sling and Hi Mama. And so Easy Facility does everything that we need it to do. The other programs don't. It's kind of picking and choosing what you want from it. And my biggest part was having that time clock integrated in. And then it's easier to keep track of everything. I know who's clocking in, I know who's clocking out. I can go on and keep track of their vacation hours, their sick days, that kind of thing. And we're all using the same program for it, which we do with Sling now. But since Easy Facility is, they offer that, that's going to be beneficial for us so that we're not using multiple programs.
Okay, question, and this is from a technologically challenged person, and having done school registrations, when you want people to come in and do them on any kind of registration online, some of them are very difficult to do on a phone, which is only what they have. And secondly, we have hundreds of people that come in and actually do it at the facilities in person. So I'm assuming that the option to do these kinds of things in the office is still going to be available to them. In other words, it's not going to be, well, you have to do this online, because
Turn them away.
it'll turn them away.
Sure.
Right,
No,
yeah.
it will
It'll be
definitely.
online
Yeah,
anyway.
she said, yeah.
Whether it's in the office or at home, it's still online.
Yeah.
It's gonna be same.
And
Yes.
even paying too, like you don't have to use your credit card online. If
Yeah.
you want to come in and reserve the Miller Building and pay that fee, you can still pay the way that they pay right now.
Right.
But it's that ease of that after hours.
Yeah.
That parent
Oh.
who works and forgot to
Yeah. Oh
go
my gosh, I
and,
forgot to sign up my kid.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Having worked with it with the school corporation, we said, everybody needs to sign up online. Bad idea. It didn't work, and it frustrated a lot of people, so we have that option, and a lot of people, most people do use it, but for those who are unfamiliar,
they can still come
we
into the office.
we still have the option.
Yeah.
It looks like a really good program for the price and what we're getting. That's $330 a month. Wow.
Yes.
4,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great-
Which is, we paid roughly between Sling and Hi Mama last year. I think it was $2,900 total This year it will be a little bit more because Sling, we started in April of last year. But, so essentially it's just adding a little bit more.
Yeah, but we're,
But we're getting so much more.
well, with the time clock feature, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You're getting more, and then you potentially see an increase in, when you're talking about the sports, an increase in signups because people don't forget. If they can get on and do it today.
Right then,
they
when
can
you
forget.
see that Facebook ad
If they can do it
for
from home,
soccer
that's-
registrations, they go, "Oh, okay, I can just do it right here from my phone,"
Oh, yeah.
Right.
and it
See 'em
eliminates
more
the, "Oh, I forgot to do that," or "I can't get there until Friday," and then you could forget on Friday, and not
Yes.
that I've experienced that before or anything.
That's when the grandma gets the call and says, "Can you take this up because I forgot it?"
Right? Yeah.
Then
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Does the Easy facility let you try it out? Do you have a tryout period, or you just sign up and you just start figuring it out?
you pretty much just sign up. Because they do it month by month, if you don't like it, you can stop
Sure.
at any
yeah,
time.
so you're
Yeah,
doing
I get
that.
it.
I did do an hour walkthrough with them. She went through it piece by piece and showed me everything, answered all my questions. And, but it is not, there isn't a trial run for it, because it is month by month, so.
And the setup, it looked like it was about $1,000 or 900, something like that.
The setup is $450, one-time
450.
activation
Oh,
fee.
okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so the other package, the setup fee is $17.98,
That's
just to set it up.
Yeah, they're-
So, but Easy Facility is $450, one-time activation fee, and that, they will put everything in the system that we need for them to,
Have you
do the training.
gotten any feedback from other people who use this program?
So I've called all the counties around us, and they all use a different program. Every county. Nobody
Wow.
has used the same. I haven't found anybody that uses the same program. I haven't found anybody that uses Easy Facility. I found some that use the other programs, and they also use multiple programs for time clock and other things. And so this is. There are a couple facilities or parks that don't use anything at all. So, I got a wide variety when I called around, and they all had their pros and cons of the programs that they use. But my biggest thing was trying to find a program that encompassed everything that we needed to do. And this was the best program out there.
I'd just be curious because some things, and I'm very suspicious of these kinds of programs because they look really good on paper, and then when push comes to shove, sometimes they're glitches that they're not going to particularly tell you about, or things that are just specific to our needs that might be more difficult to set up. But it looks really good.
All right. Well, it sounds like we all think that Marla's choice is the one we should go with. Does anybody have any other discussion? Other questions?
It's all her fault.
Is there a technical assistance with this? I mean, you said that the lady walked you through it for an hour, did whatever. Is there a
Startup.
We will have someone that will be there for us
Okay.
for as long as we need them. We can call them for questions at any time that we need to, and they'll be there to walk alongside us.
As long as you feel comfortable with the technical support,
Yes.
you're the one that's going to have to be using it, so if just when you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Kate's like, all right. Okay, so it sounds like that we would like to recommend that Marla goes with the Easy Facility.
I think we need a motion for that.
I don't know if we do. Do we need a motion for
I don't
that? I
know.
mean, I think that that's your call. That's your. I say we support you.
We support, because
Do
the
it.
Board of Works is actually the one that's going to have to fork over the money, correct? You have to go.
No, I
this
actually
is-
don't, since it's not over $5,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
yeah.
is just something
Oh.
that,
Ooh,
uh,
well, we recommend it.
yeah, that we recommend you
Yeah.
go with that. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, do we have any miscellaneous business? Claims including payroll, why do we have this Northern Mechanical
Yes.
included in our,
So we added
claims?
that because we have to pay that. It was actually from last year, but we wanted to make you aware of what's happened. So we just received this bill 2 weeks ago, and they had stamped it past due, and it was the first bill we ever received. And so I tried to call them multiple times. Their system was down, so last week Kate was able to get a hold of someone. They did say that their system had been down for quite some time, and that they will not be. They had a malware attack, and so they are not going to be charging any late fees. So we don't have to worry about this past due or anything like that. But we will be paying this from the charges that were done last. Let's see, it looks like July, and then in September as well. They had to come out and fix a couple things.
And if I may add a couple of things, when I spoke to the gentleman, the reason it took so long for us to receive the bill initially, he had the incorrect address and zip code. So it kept getting sent back to him, and he said, I finally figured it out, and that's when we received it.
Just as long as, because this, we should never have to pay a late payment. Never.
Right, right. And so that's why we wanted to check on that before we paid it, to make sure and verify that we were not going to be receiving any late fees, and they assured us that we won't. So we wanted to bring that to your attention, and we will be making that payment.
It was also after the deadline for claims.
so it's
So
not
that's
included
why
in
it's
all of our
correct.
other.
That's
Yeah,
why
so-
it's in the packet
Yeah,
as
so-
opposed
Okay.
to just in our normal
That's-
report.
Okay.
All right, so I need a motion to approve claims including payroll and the North Mechanical bill.
I so move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, your claims. Public forum. Do either of you want to speak at the public forum? All right. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Okay, can I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, this will conclude our meeting.